Alright, so my last video was all about magnets and how they create magnetic fields. This particular video is going to be about electrical currents producing magnetic fields. So the very first statement up there says magnets aren't the only thing that can actually create a magnetic field. Okay, so the electrical currents themselves can produce a magnetic field. So this is one of the connections between electricity and magnetism. Now, I've tried to draw a couple different views of what exactly happens, or what kind of magnetic field is produced when you run current through a wire. So the first part is simply current through a wire. Now, I'm going to try to do this with my hands to kind of help you out. But all right, if this pen represents that wire, okay, if I say that the current flowing through the wire flows from the bottom end up here to the cap end, okay, we're going to start learning these right-hand rules. This first right-hand rule, which by the way, you have to use your right hand for, regardless of whether or not you're right-handed or left-handed. If the current is flowing from the bottom of the pen here to the cap, okay, you use your thumb to show you the direction of the current, and your fingers curl. So if I'm going to use the pen, my thumb goes along the edge of the pen, and then my fingers curl around the pen. Okay? So what I've tried to draw here is the red pen, and then my fingers curling around it. Now it's a little hard because technically this would be, say, along the y-axis, and all these rings would be along the z-axis, coming in and out of the paper. So sometimes maybe an easier way to explain this would be from a top view, like if I was looking at the top of the pen like this. Okay, and if we were, you've got your current flowing up like that, and my fingers are curling around. So maybe that would make more sense. That, by the way, this is going to be the symbol for something coming out of the page. So if the current was coming up this way, my thumb again is the wire itself, then my fingers would curl in that direction. That's the right-hand rule. Now this is one where it's coming up. Okay, so if the current was going down like this, okay, then the curl is the opposite way. Now again, I think the top view is going to be the easiest one to think of. That little X means the current is going into the page. So my thumb would go down and we'd curl this way. Now, from this drawing, okay, we're curling this way, clockwise from above. Okay, so that is the direction of the magnetic field around a wire. Okay, we can go one little step further and talk about a loop of wire. Okay, now this one again is kind of hard to picture, but if I had a loop of wire like this, okay, again, and you'd be using the curl rule, is if my thumb was going down along this particular field is curling from one side or the outside of the wire through the middle of it. Now again, I'm going to try to show you with, say, this roll of tape. Okay, if my thumb, let me back this up for just a second here. Okay, if my thumb represents the current, okay, so the current's going to flow this way. The curl rule says I take that current and then my fingers curl underneath. So if I look at this, my thumb curls around the tape, and my fingers here that are coming through represent the direction of the field. Okay. However, if I think about this from this, let me see here, I got to try this again. This is this way. If I continue this and I could somehow get my thumb on the inside, my hand on the inside, my fingers would eventually curl all the way around and come around the top. Okay, so if the current's flowing this direction, it's coming through here, but where my thumb currently is, up here, the field would be going back this way, which would create a loop around and around and around. Okay, and I know this one's a little harder to see visually, but I hope this tape thing is helping. So down here for the loop that I've created, again, if the current's flowing this way, okay, pretend that it's coming out of the page, the loop that I have drawn is out of the page, then we'd be going through the middle and then wrapping back up and around and then back through the middle. So this would be like if the tape was like this and the current was flowing this way through here, right? But then as I was coming up on the other side here, it would be coming across the top. My thumb, if I could get my thumb in the middle, come across the top. Okay, now we'll have some more practice on this, and then tomorrow we're going to do a few labs to investigate what things will affect the magnitude of that magnetic field. We'll try how many loops of wire, we'll try how long the wire actually is, how far away from the wire it is, and say how much current we put through the wire. Okay? All right.